Hey, so it's the end of July, and I had 11 jokes that I was working on. And I predicted that I would make 5 jokes work. How does it sound to you that I got 8, baby? 8 jokes working. That's what we're talking about. My name is Ryan Perry. I'm a comic here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've been a stand-up comic for 20 years. I perform in clubs all over the Dallas-Fort Worth as well as beyond. I'm not a famous comic, but thought I would make a YouTube video to bring you into my process. And so what I'm doing right now is at the beginning of the month, I do a prediction where I take down the jokes that I'm going to do and I predict how many of these jokes I can make work. And I do give them all an honest shot at open mics throughout the week. I usually do 18 to 25 open mics per month. So they all get their due. And so I do give them a shot. And we try to see if I can actually exceed my predictions or if for some reason this month I don't make make that goal. And so this was a month where I actually exceeded. Now I'm gonna say I exceeded like with flying colors because some of these are on my score on 1 to 10 scoring system. They just kind of take themselves over the halfway mark. Like they get laughs, but they're not the kind of laughs that I hold myself to when I perform on stage. So I will continue to work on these at off night shows and things like that to try to get them better. But let's go through the successes. And I had 8, but technically there's 7. And at the end of this, I will explain how and why that is. So, first joke that is a success that I predicted was also going to be a success was Third Wheel. That has been absolutely the best joke of the month. It is absolutely a 8 out of 10, if not a 9. I added it to my online dating chunk, and it actually gets more laughs than a lot of the online dating chunk, and that's saying something because my online dating chunk has kind of gotten a lot of laughs lately. So impressed with that one. Second one that worked, that's kind of, I would say it's one of those ones that's like a 6 or maybe a 6.5 out of 10. The car snitch bit, which basically is me taking my car to get repaired and then mad dogging my car as like I was trying to make sure my car wouldn't tell on me about how poorly I take care of it. And it works, but I think I still have too much setup. Like there's just too much words between the setup and the punchline, and then maybe I just need to work on getting that punchline to be either a harder hitting punchline or I need to eliminate some of these filler words or maybe both and get that whittled down to a finer 8 or 9 out of 10 as far as the jokes go. Another joke that worked that I predicted was the pet dogs. This one was the one I thought would be my number 1 joke of the month. I thought it would actually, just be immediately put into my set after the first few tries, and it absolutely flopped. And it started to feel like one of those jokes when sometimes as a comic you have these jokes and you just get a feeling about it. It's just like, how has this not been said? How is it? This is like going to be one of the cornerstones of my act when I go on Netflix. And then you get on stage and it just dies, and you start to question everything. Like, did I come at it wrong? Am I just misinterpreting? Where did we go wrong with this bit? What happened? And so I have worked on this bit. I have gotten it to where it's like a 7, maybe an 8. When I really deliver it, like the last few times I delivered it. I'm gonna add it to probably my talking dirty joke because it's also kind of involves dogs, and so I'm going to try to add it there. Like I said, it took a long time. I think it kind of turned when I added that I actually try to talk to women like, who's a good girl? And then that actually kind of took it from being possibly my miss to an actual hit. And so we'll keep working on that one as well. My other joke that worked that I predicted was a Hereditary, because I have a little bit of a horror movie kind of joke already, and this can be added to that as a tag. And it's one of the ones that was kind of the weaker hits, because it's just kind of such a simple thought. Because the word hereditary makes me think, oh, you just turn into your parents, like those Progressive commercials. And so it doesn't have a lot of surprise or anything, so it gets a laugh as it's intended. It doesn't get a overexcited laugh or an applause or a guffaw. And so I've got to work on that one as well a little bit with my horror movie chunk, and see if we can get that to where it is solid. Jokes now that I didn't think would work that actually did work. Let's go through those. iTunes albums. I thought this was going to be a dud because it's just kind of a simple thought. And it turned out to be, a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Like it wasn't a strong laugh, but I was surprised at the laughs that it did get. That it was, oh, I'm so old, and it's annoying that you keep reminding me I'm old by showing me how many times that Green Day has re-released this song under different albums. Just show me the album that I bought it at. Don't show me that it's a 35th anniversary edition. Things like that. So that one worked. Another one that I was surprised at work was Car Inside. That one kind of evolved into Car Assume, which is basically it was about making assumptions about what people's cars are when you see the inside of them, and that did not go anywhere. So I then made it Car Assume, like you assume a certain person drives a certain car. So if you see them in a certain job, you expect them to drive a certain level of vehicle. And when that doesn't match, like, it can catch you. And so I kind of tied it in with a bit about walking a girl to her car that we had last month, and added that as a tag to this, and kind of butted them together. And now it's a really solid bit. It gets 8 out of 10. Another one that I didn't think would work that I got to work because of the caveat. Like I said, these two jokes kind of became one. And so 2 jokes that basically involved me being stuck on the side of the road. One was me talking about a story of being drunk and changing a tire, and the other one, a van asking me for help. And so what I did, when neither of these things worked on their own and kind of got maybe a modest laugh, I decided to put them together as, when you're stuck on the side of the road, it's always uncomfortable with who comes to help you. And so then comes the van. Then I change it to the DWI tire kind of story, where the police came and actually waited behind me, and then how nervous I felt with those cops being right there, wondering if maybe I had something to drink at 9 a.m. And so it gets really good laughs. And then I have a little bit of a bit about doing a field sobriety test, and that I can't do it because I'm not athletic. Like, I can't stand on one foot, and so how am I supposed to do that on the side of the highway? And so those 2 bits became one. And so technically, I have 7 working bits out of 10. But if we're going by what my predictions say, then I got 8 out of 11. And then I just whittled it down to 7 out of 10. Now for the 3 that didn't work. And we'll start with the ones that I predicted wouldn't work. First, Gadzooks. This was probably the weakest joke of the ones I had, and it just didn't really, it really never, you can say Gadzooks, and that's the funny part, but outside that, there's no meat on this, and I don't know if I can salvage it at another time, but that was a no-go. Soap opera was another no-go. And though I am trying to repurpose it as reality TV is just a different way of doing a soap opera. Like it's just unhinged stuff. And the last one that I thought would work that I could not get to work at all was Tiny Houses, where my friend is moving to Hawaii and I didn't know she could take her tiny house, and I assumed that she was just taking it on an airplane piece by piece. And I thought that was funny. Not many people else did. And so that one just kind of laid there and became another miss for me. And so those are my hits and misses. 7 out of 10. That's batting 700. That is pretty darn good. Had a great month of shows. I got another one here. I'll be finishing up my weekend at Punchline in Irving. We can discuss that in an upcoming video. Also got some stories as well as my predictions for the month of August. Let's see if we can keep this hot train rolling with batting over 500 on some of these jokes. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to keep following, just go ahead and subscribe, like the video if you want to see more of this content. I'm going to keep making it even if you don't like it. So enjoy it. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next one.